Hello dear students. I, Mrs. Rajashree Naik, welcomes you again in online lecture series arranged by Gokhale Education Society's B.Y.K College of Commerce, Nashik. In the last online lecture, we have covered oligopoly and its features. Today, in this lecture, we will study the last part of the chapter number 5, that is monopolistic competition. So students, these are the content points which we will be studying in this lecture. Classification of market on the basis of competition in that B part, imperfect competition in that last part, monopolistic competition, features of monopolistic competition and expected questions. Okay, now see the chart. Today we will cover the last part of the classification, that is third part, monopolistic competition. So, monopolistic competition, meaning and definition. Monopolistic competition is very realistic in nature. In this market, there are some features of perfect competition and some features of monopoly acting together. Professor E.H. Chamberlin coined this concept in his book, Theory of Monopolistic Competition, which was published in 1933. According to Chamberlin, monopolistic competition refers to competition among a large number of sellers producing close but not perfect substitutes. Monopolistic competition is a market structure in which there is large number of firms that produce and sell similar but differentiated products to large number of buyers. The monopolistic competition exists between the sellers of differentiated products. This type of competition lies between perfect competition and monopoly. Example of monopolistic competition include FMCG products. Now, what do you mean by FMCG? FMCG means fast moving consumer goods. Fast moving consumer goods means FMCG. So, FMCG products like toothpaste, soaps, etc. and even consumer durables. The products are similar in nature but are differentiated in terms of shape, size, color, design, etc. Assume any product like say soap or watches. We find that there are many producers of soap and the soap produced by each is at least slightly different from the soap of others. The differentiation may be due to shape, size, color, fragrance, packages, etc. As long as the soap of one is different from that of other, it has its own uniqueness and therefore each producer is the monopolist in a way of his own product. The product is the same, that is soap. It is not homogeneous. There is an element of product differentiation. The soaps of all these producers eventually come to the market and compete. So thus, monopolistic competition is that market category in which there is keen competition, though not perfect, among a group of monopolists producing same, though not identical product. So let us study about features of monopolistic competition. First feature, fairly large number of sellers. In monopolistic competition, the number of sellers is large, but comparatively it is less than that of perfect competition. Due to this reason, sellers' behavior is like monopoly. There are many sellers or firms in a monopolistic competition. A single seller is not large enough to influence the market. Each one to a certain extent may follow an independent price and output policy without disturbing others. There is no much interdependence among the sellers. So thus, it is possible for each seller to pursue an independent course of action. The impact of such actions is not seriously felt by the competitors. Next feature, fairly large number of buyers. In this market, there are fairly large number of buyers. Consequently, no single buyer can influence the price of the product by changing his individual demand. Okay, so third feature, product differentiation. Product differentiation is the main feature of monopolistic competition. In this market, there are many firms producing a particular product, but the product of each firm is in some way differentiated from the product of every other firm in the market. This is known as product differentiation. Products are differentiated in monopolistic competition. Products differ from each other in many ways. Product differentiation can take place in the form of brand name and trademark. Products may also be differentiated in terms of color, size, design, taste, etc. The differentiated characteristics can be seen in textiles, soaps, mobile handsets, and many other products. This means that the product of a firm may find close substitutes and its cross elasticity of demand is very high. Good salesmanship and better after-sale service also gives differentiation to the products. The commodities are close substitutes. They mainly differ because their outward appearance has been changed. Product differentiation may be either real or imaginary. Real differences in the commodity arise due to material use, design, and durability. And imaginary differences are created through advertisement and salesmanship, and as a result, every firm can decide its price policy independently. That is, every firm has a partial control over price of its product. Next feature, free entry and exit. Under monopolistic competition, there is freedom of entry and exit. That is, new firms are free to enter the market if there is profit. Similarly, they can leave the market if they find it difficult to survive. So, this is another important feature of monopolistic competition is the freedom of entry and exit of firms. A firm is free to enter the market to produce a product which is a substitute for the existing products. Similarly, a firm is free to leave the market. So excess profit by the existing firms will attract more firms to enter into the market. On the other hand, heavy losses may compel them to leave the market. However, if products of some firms are legally patented, and then entry of new firms becomes difficult. However, in the long run, there cannot be any restrictions on entry or exit of the firms. Next feature, selling cost. Selling costs are peculiar to monopolistic competition only. It refers to the cost incurred by the firm to create more demand for its product and thus increase the volume of sales. So, one of the special features of monopolistic competition is the concept of selling cost. Very briefly, selling costs are those costs which are incurred by the firm to create demand and more demand for its product through advertisement, publicity, salesmanship, etc. Every firm in this market spends a lot on the advertisement of its products. To increase its sales and make the public aware of the superiority of its product, it advertises its product by giving wide publicity in newspapers, magazines, movies, TV, radio, etc. as well as free gifts, free samples, exhibitions, hoardings, window display, etc. The expenses on advertisement and publicity are called as selling cost. And it is highest in this market. In this means what? In this monopolistic competition. The firms in this market may use informative advertisement or manipulative advertisement. The former is generally done to introduce a new product and is aimed at informing the potential buyers about the product, its qualities and uses, while the latter is aimed at creating a psychological preference in favor of the product being advertised. However, both are basically instruments to create a demand for the product. So thus, selling costs are those costs which must shift the demand curve for the product to right of the original position of the demand curve. So the selling costs are peculiar to monopolistic competition. Next feature, close substitutes. In monopolistic competition, goods have close substitutes to each other. Even though the products are differentiated, but they are very close substitutes. For example, as far as brands are concerned, there are many close substitutes for products like soaps, toothpaste, oil, etc. However, they are not perfect substitute as in perfect competition, but these are very close substitutes to each other. Okay, now the next feature, concept of group. Under monopolistic competition, Chamberlin introduced the concept of group in place of industry. Industry means the number of firms producing identical products, means homogeneous products. And a group means a number of firms producing differentiated products, means heterogeneous products which are closely related. So each firm produces similar but not identical goods. Therefore, Edward Chamberlin introduced the term group. A group is a cluster of firms producing very closely related but differentiated products. A group is a cluster of firms producing very closely related but differentiated products. Under perfect competition, all firms producing identical product are clubbed under one industry. But under monopolistic competition, products are differentiated and therefore firms producing close substitutes are considered as group of firms. For example, group of firms producing medicines or group of firms producing which are in automobile sector. So now, these are the features of monopolistic competition. Okay. Now, see the expected question, answer in detail. Explain the meaning of monopolistic competition with its features. So students, in today's lecture, we have covered the last part of classification of market, that is monopolistic competition and its features. I hope that you have understand all the concepts of the chapter clearly. Go through all the videos and study properly. I am sending assignment related to chapter 5. Complete the assignment without fail. Also, I will send you notes for chapter number 5 in PDF format. The notes contain detailed explanation with different examples of some parts of the chapter. And most important, I will be sending OBT link, means objective based test link. So students, do not forget to solve the test. That's it. We will soon come up with another topic. Till then, have a great time. Thank you.